It is time for your transaction update. So at this point, I know it feels like nothing's happening, right? I like to liken it to a duck on the water. On the surface, it feels really smooth and like there's just really no action, but somehow we're moving forward. That's because there's a ton of stuff happening underneath it all. Your lender's working really hard in the background to prepare all your documentation and make sure that we can make it through underwriting, and the appraiser is doing their job to submit a report back to the lender. So this week what happened was the appraisal inspection happened. That's a chance for the appraiser to go and make sure that the square footage is correct, the condition of the home is as it should be, and to compile any information that they need to create their report. From there, here's what we're looking for. So your appraisal was assigned a due date when that report has to come back to the lender and to the underwriting team. So on that due date, they're going to get the report back, and we're looking for a couple things. Just to make it simple, we're hoping in a dream world for as-is condition and at or above value. As-is would mean that there are no build conditions, there are no home conditions. Think like peeling paint, or if it's a manufactured home, like an attached structure that wasn't certified through L&I that need to be remediated before we can move forward. So no conditions is actually, it's a great thing. At value or above value means that the purchase price that you said you wanted to do is in line with what the market supports, which means we can just continue to carry on. Now, what happens if there are conditions or the value is found to not align with the purchase price? So the appraisal comes back, the report comes back in, and there's a condition. There's peeling paint that needs to be remediated, there's a flooring concern, something. So what's gonna happen is the buyer side and the seller side, we're gonna come together and we're gonna find a solution. So honestly, it's not time to stress yet. So let's say something else happens. Condition's fine, but the value isn't there. You made an offer that you thought was a good offer at the time, but the market just doesn't support it. Again, this is where buyer and seller side are gonna come back together and renegotiate the terms of this agreement, because your lender isn't gonna give you more money. Let's say you made an offer of $300,000 and the appraisal comes back at $275,000. Well, the lender's not gonna lend more money based off of what the market says, so we will renegotiate and all will be just fine. Here's the thing, and this is one of the only times I'm gonna suggest that ignorance is bliss. Until that report comes back in, I find it best to just assume that everything is gonna be butterflies and rainbows, because at this point we've done everything we can. We have negotiated well through the inspection contingency. The seller prepared their home to what they thought was going to be the standard needed. We kind of just have to see what that report says. So take a deep breath and remember to breathe out, that's important too. And we will make it through the next step together, just as we have done so every step before this. Have a really good rest of your day.